talking about the legacy, the greatest of all time. On widescreen with my Logitech webcam, 1080 HD, The Exorcist on Blu-ray. And this was the last release of the movie. As you guys haven't heard, this year in October, we are getting the happy 40th anniversary edition of The Exorcist, and loaded with fucking special features. Definitely a must-have, without a doubt. Okay? Without a doubt. And let me tell you something about this movie. This is the only movie I ever known when it has like a lot of subtitles in different languages. See how popular this movie is all over the world? If aliens was watching this movie, we get it subtitled in their language too. If Hollywood wanted to, they got subtitle this movie for all the different countries. But they got most of the countries. When you go to the subtitle section, you'll see these different languages. Shit, you speak in Tokyo, Japan, and Chinese and all that shit, and Arabian language. Like language you never even existed. That was a subtitle for this movie. You go learn languages. Even the ancient Babylonian mythology with Pazuzu the demons from. You learn a lot of shit from this movie. Scariest movie of all time. Greatest horror movie of all time. I've said it so many times, and I'm going to keep on saying it until there is a movie that could defeat the greatest horror movie of all time. Do you know a horror movie that would defeat the greatest horror movie of all time? None of the above. There have been so many clones, so many expectations, so many gimmicks, but at the end of the day, a lot of them fail, and some of them come pretty close to the Exorcist, but still fail to take its crown. Because Exorcist is still number one. Number one. So let's talk about this movie. You got that old priest, right? And you know, I can talk about the prequels and the sequels, but that'll be for another time. Let's talk about this, like I said. Now you have this old priest and digging tombs in Iraq. He comes across a statue of Pazuzu, and you see this epic battle, epic soundtrack. Even the outro soundtrack is epic. But anyway, you see the priest looking at the statue of Pazuzu one-on-one, like he knows what's up. He knows what's coming, and you could tell he faced this demon before. Like face-to-face conflict, statue and the old priest. They see the sunrise. How epic is that, people? And then after that, we get this priest, you know, find his dilemma about like, you know, he felt like he lost his faith in God. He got a sick mom to look after. And you also got another side of the story, which you got this actress, you know, have a great relationship with her daughter, you know, and then later on in the storyline, you find this daughter's playing with the Ouija board, and you be like, that's when you realize something is up. She's playing with the Ouija board. She called the demon Captain Howdy. And she didn't even call the demon a captain. She didn't know it was a demon. She just thought it was a spirit, you know. Meanwhile, the priest have his own emotional issues. His mom is like in a mental hospital, you know. And later on in the storyline, you found that his mom passed away, and it was sad. And later on, you got the other side of the story when you hear like the actress and her daughter around the house where they're staying at. You got the butler, you got the maid, you got the publicist, an assistant, and stuff like that. You're hearing noises. And as the movie progresses, the demonic possession is taking her slowly. You know, starts, the daughter I mentioned, her bed is shaking, and like they take her, like the mother taking her daughter to the hospital to find like a cure, what's a problem, and then you see the demonic entity is slowly possessing her, and then when it finally possessed her, all hell's break loose. You know, we got doctor trying to like hypnotize her for psychological issues, and then the demon comes out of this when the trance part of it, grab the psychologist's nut, Pazuzu, you say, what the fuck you think you talking? Do I look like I need a fucking shrink? You know, Pazuzu, you know what's going on in this movie, you know? And, you know, it's like all this medical stuff, and the doctors can't figure it out. So the doctor starts telling the mom, found some solution, pretty much get a priest, get a exorcism. The mother that was going to see when she said that, you mean you want to take my daughter to a witch doctor? Well, yep, you pretty much do. And then the mother starts visiting the priest that she sees around the college campus, and then she starts telling the priest that, oh, I need an exorcism. And the priest pretty much don't believe in that stuff, by telling a story that, he needs a church, and that, to, sanction it, pretty much, I would say it was sanctioned, right? Maybe, to legalize the exorcism for him. But he went to see the girl and realized, something's not right. Pretty much this girl is possessed with a demon, And, there's a tape recorder, and how it says backwards, they fear the priest, fear Marin. Marin is the old priest from the beginning of the movie. The movie progressed, and then the priest went to the head priest and said, I need an exorcism. And the head priest ended up having the old priest and the old priest Marin and the new priest that's coming to try to help out the case. And now they decided to do the exorcism, try to exorcise the demon. You got the epic battle between good versus evil. And as to progress, the exorcism was awesome. And come on, we see this movie so many times, millions of times. Everybody talks about it because it's the greatest horror movie of all time. Breaking records, still #1 horror movie of all time. What else more can I say, people? Come on, what else more can I say? You all say for me. As a demonic possession, it progressed. The old priest decided to take the second round to the exorcism. He decided to do the exorcism himself because the other priest can't handle the demonic Reagan telling him about his mom, and then the priest he's just getting pissed off. He's letting his emotions get to him. So like I said, the old priest told him, you know what, get out, pretty much step outside. Let me take care of this. And then when the priest heard a bump, the priest went in and he said the old priest died, and the demon's laughing, giggling, and the priest starts strangling the demon. And then they just tell the demon, take me, take me. And then the demon possessed the priest, and the priest was about to kill Reagan. The one was, since the demon left Reagan, she went back to normal. When the priest possessed by the demon now, ready to kill Reagan, he decided to jump himself off the window so he won't hurt no one, And then Reagan's free from the demonic possession. You got the priest's best friend, make him say his last confession, not say it, but do it with his fingers. And as the movie ends, you got the priest's best friend looking at the house and talking to the mother of Reagan as they decide to leave the house, move on with their life. And then the priest saw the detective, they end up talking, and then the credits start rolling up again. What else more to say about this movie? I mean, it's so much good story, so much story, the story of the movie is good, the acting is good, the special effects is good. This movie broke barriers, it questions people's belief in religion. People talk about God, all religions talk about this movie, you know what I'm saying? And about beliefs, and it's so much, man. I mean, what else can we say, people? What else can we say? How many documentaries? How many people talk about exorcism? How many people talk about demons? How many people talk about not only demons, but how many people talk about angels, heaven, and hell? I mean, all for this movie. When I heard stories about people that were born in the early 70s that saw this movie, they could tell me a lot of stories about it. When I first came across this movie, it was in the 80s, of course. It was on cable TV. I forgot what station, though. I mean, maybe Showtime, probably, or Cinemax. I don't know. I know it wasn't HBO, though. But when I first saw this movie, it scared the shit out of me. And to this day, it still lives up its hype. I mean, wow. Just watch this movie in the dark, And, Exorcist is priceless, man. And like I say, the 40th anniversary is coming out. I mean, there's 3 featurettes in this movie, but I wanted more, and that's what the 40th anniversary of Exorcist coming out in October is going to come to play. It's going to be a lot of featurettes, and I can't wait to get the 40th anniversary, and I will be talking about the special features. Oh, man. And as for these new school horror movies, they're trying to mimic this, like I say, cigar. But you know what? I wish them luck to see, hey, who knows, maybe one day, they could probably take away the Exorcist Crown as the greatest horror movie of all time, the scariest horror movie of all time. Maybe one day, but since the early 70s and up, like I say, no cigar, no harm we haven't competed against the Exorcist. No, still number one, people. Still number one.